Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, July the 26th, 2020. It is currently 9:01 a.m. Central Time, and you're listening to the Currently On podcast, a podcast dedicated to what is currently on. We talk about movies, we talk about music, we talk about podcasts, we talk about sports. If it's on, we talk about it. We try to help you discover new things to watch, new things to listen to. We try to tell you about what's going on. So this is the podcast you should subscribe to. And the reason why is because, well, there's new content coming at you all the time, and we keep you up to date with what's going on in the world. So thank you for listening to the Currently On podcast. Please subscribe. Please share this with everyone you know. And just know the Currently On podcast is available on all podcasting platforms. If wherever you get your podcasts from, you can get the Currently On podcast. If for any reason you cannot find it, email me at newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com. Tell me how you want to listen. I will do everything in my power to help you listen that way. If I can't, I will literally drive to your house, set up my podcast equipment, and podcast from your living room, from your kitchen table, and then you can just have a live broadcast right there of the Currently On podcast. Okay, maybe I can't do that, but you get the idea. I want you to be able to hear, so let me know. I'll help you out. Losing my voice. newsif@yahoo.com. That's newsif@yahoo.com. Now, for this weekend, what's been currently on has been lots of discussion, obviously, about sports. Baseball is back. Bellator MMA is back. Boxing was back on DAZN, the streaming service DAZN. Obviously, UFC has been back. They had Fight Night last night on ESPN+. So there's been lots of sports to watch, lots of sports to talk about, all right? I saw a crazy 7-second knockout between two women that were boxing on DAZN. Whoa, it was brutal knockout, 7 seconds. Clearly, the one woman should not have been in the ring, and I won't give you the name of the boxers and everything, but yeah, it was crazy. So we could talk about sports, but I'm not here to talk about sports, no. And you're not tuning into this to talk about sports because you saw the title of this episode. So I know what you're here for, but I'm making you wait. No, I will not make you wait any longer. Obviously, one of the big stories this weekend, one of the things that is currently on, probably currently playing in your house, probably have been playing throughout the weekend, maybe currently on right now in the background, is the new album by Taylor Swift. She dropped the album and boom, the whole world's been talking about it. I've posted a review. I posted an interpretation of the video for the song Cardigan. I've talked about it. I was telling you about it before the album was even released. So this has been the big story in music. And well, how big of a story? I have information in front of you now to tell you how big of a story it really is. Listen to this headline. Taylor Swift's Folklore album exceeds 1.3 million copies sold. Are you ready for this? In 24 hours. Taylor Swift's Folklore album exceeds 1.3 million copies sold in 24 hours. In the world in which we live, if you can get to 1 million in a week, that's a big deal. If you can get to 1 million in a week, that's like, whoa, those are huge numbers in the world in which we live today. She got to 1.3 million copies sold in 24 hours. Listen to me. Even if you're not a Taylor Swift fan, you should go check out the album. It's an amazing piece of art. It's beautiful. It's worth your time. It's worth your time. And if the whole world's talking about it, well, you should be talking about it as well, all right? So Taylor Swift's Folklore album exceeds 1.3 million copies sold in 24 hours. Here's some of the statistics that we have here. According to Republic Records, the album broke the record for first-day album streams by a female artist on Spotify. So that's just Spotify alone. Spotify alone, Taylor Swift broke the first-day album streams by a female artist. So that's a major accomplishment. The article continues. Taylor Swift's latest album, titled Folklore, has sold over 1.3 million copies globally in 24 hours, according to Republic Records. On Spotify, it was streamed, are you ready for this? 80.6 million times. Okay, so I guess in 24 hours, it was streamed 80.6 million times, breaking the record for the first day album streams by a female artist. Folklore was also the most streamed pop album on Apple Music on its first day of release, with 35.47 million streams. So 35.47 million streams on Apple Music. So, I mean, man, you take those numbers together, you're obviously getting up there. Folklore, which is Swift's 8th studio album, dropped at midnight on Thursday, a surprise to her fans, alongside a music video for the track Cardigan, which I gave an entire interpretation of. You should go find that episode and listen to it. On social media, Swift also shared her vision for the album. It started with imagery, visuals that popped into my mind and piqued my curiosity. Stars drawn around scars, a cardigan that still bears the scent of loss 20 years later, battleships sinking into the ocean, down, 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 the tree swing, and the woods of my childhood. She went on to write that the image in her head grew faces or names and became characters in the writing process. I found myself not only writing my own stories, but also writing about or from the perspective of people I've never met, people I've known, or those I wish I hadn't. The singer later wrote that in isolation, her imagination has run wild, and this album is the result, a collection of songs and stories that flowed like a stream of consciousness. And there you have it. Taylor Swift, Folklore album, has exceeded 1.3 million copies in 24 hours. I cannot wait to see what the numbers are for the first week. I think the first week numbers are going to be insane. They're going to be crazy. Now you say, well, I don't care about those numbers. Maybe you don't. But listen, when streaming services have all these people tuning in, that's good for the streaming services. What's good for streaming services is good for you and for me, because streaming services is how we get our music today. The more successful they are, the greater. The more contracts they can sign with different companies and different artists to ensure that music is available, that's good for you and that's good for me. When an artist is super successful, that's good for the music industry. That's always good. Why is it good for the music industry? Because music industry signs artists, and you want them to sign artists so they can promote those artists so that you can discover them and I can discover them. If you love music, you want a healthy music industry. If you love music right now, you want a healthy streaming industry so that we can have access to all of that music whenever we want at a fingertip. We can just listen to whatever we want by a couple of taps on the screen. We want that. We celebrate that. And so I celebrate, even if I wasn't a Taylor Swift fan, I celebrate her success. I celebrate any success for the music industry because I love music, and hopefully you do as well. There you have it. Folklore. Breaking records. It's an amazing album. Currently, I do want to look at this really quick because I was interesting to know what the divide would be between critics and fans. Let me go here. I got to look at something. 1 second. Let me pull this up. Here we go. Going to albumoftheyear.org. Albumoftheyear.org. Let's see where Taylor Swift stands right now. Albumoftheyear.org. Okay, well, it's getting a little closer right now. The critic score for Folklore by Taylor Swift is 92. That's pretty good. 92, 95. Once you start that 90, about that 93, 95 level, that starts kind of being universal acclaim. All right. That's when this album is universally acclaimed by the critics. Everybody loves it. Okay. So she's pretty close to that. 92 right now. The user score was at a 72%. So there was kind of a big gap between the critics and the average listener. But now the average listener numbers are going up. She's now at an 83. That's a rating of an 83 with all the users who have given reviews. An 83. So critic 92, user 83. That's getting definitely closer. That's usually a good sign for an album really, being stated as being, universally praised. If that user score gets close to 90 and the critic score stays in the 90s, then that means everyone loves this album. So we will have to see what continues to develop there. So, yeah, there's a lot of other albums we could talk about, but obviously Taylor Swift is the album getting most of the attention. And, I wanted to give you those numbers just to show you how big a deal it is. So that's what's currently on for this Sunday, July the 26th, 2020. It's now 9:11 a.m. Central Time. Just a quick update. Wanted to bring that to you. Yeah, there's so many other things I want to talk about. I need to watch the next episode of Warrior Nun. I'm really working my way slowly through that, and I'm looking at it from its theological implications. So if you're not watching Warrior Nun, I would definitely recommend it. It's very interesting, especially when you consider the biblical and theological imagery being used. The Capture on Peacock TV streaming service. Whoa, I am loving that show. 2 thumbs up. I can't wait to see how that narrative develops. Again, I don't binge watch. I take my time. And then I need to watch the next episode of Cursed on Netflix. I need to watch that. So those are some things going on. And, we'll keep you informed about what's happening and keep telling you about what's currently on. Thank you for listening. Everyone have a great day. Go watch something. Go listen to something. Enjoy your life. It's short.